All right, welcome to the Anime Watch List podcast, where we watch anime and then try to make cohesive sense of it all. Um, there's things that we got to avoid that Emily will tell you about right now. This
Yes, there
important
are
thing.
spoilers in this podcast, so if you want to watch it, beware.
The anime that we're covering this week is the first 7 episodes of Trigun. Trigun, it was originally aired in 1998 and was from the manga series, also called Trigun.
Yo, same
You
name.
guys
Nice
think?
job. Also, by the way, as a thing, I'm Aiden. What are you guys' names? Just
Yeah,
so that
I'm
we're clear.
Emily.
What's your name, nameless guy?
I am Ian. I realized I had my touch to speak on. I'm sorry.
Oh, bro.
Gotcha. Nice
It's
job.
gonna be a long episode.
Okay, great. We did the things, the intro things. So
Yay.
go talk more, Ian. Sorry about cutting you off.
No, you're fine. Okay, so episode 1, the 60 billion double dollar man.
Double dollar.
Double dollar? Is that what it is? I did notice that they have
Did you
double
guys
dollar
watch
signs in
subs?
front of it.
I noticed. Wait, I didn't even know there was a dub option.
Bruh.
I watched on Hulu and there was a dub option, but I watched some.
Really? I watched on Hulu and there wasn't. I didn't really look that hard.
No, because they do 2 separate episodes. Like there's the English episode and a Japanese
stupid.
episode.
I forgot about
And
that.
I'm saying right now, next time we record, watch the English dub. It is so much better.
Really?
So much
Really?
better.
Okay.
I love
I
his
don't-
dub. I love the main
Yeah,
character's
it
dub,
is good.
or sub voice. The sub voice.
Yeah, but the dub voice. Do you know who Johnny Youngbosh is?
No.
He is
No,
the
sir.
Black Power Ranger. I don't think you ever. Yeah, you guys didn't grow up with the Black
I never
Power
watched
Ranger.
Power
Yeah, I
No.
never watched Power Rangers.
Yeah, well, he's I think this was his first ever voice acting job, and he does super well.
Cool. I'll try it out.
Nice.
I like the sub
Yeah.
so far, although I will say the girl voices are a little bit piercing sometimes. at
Oh,
least
they
for me.
are. Okay, so story time. I told Ian and Aiden before we started the podcast that I just finished the 7th episode. I had a busy week, and so I had just gotten out of the shower and I was watching it while I was styling my hair, and so I went to go look for. That's why I went to go look for the dub version, so I didn't have to stare at the screen the whole time. But I forgot that the other, like the separate episode existed. But anyway, so I had to turn up the volume above the hairdryer. And the female voices, oh my goodness, they were so piercing.
Are you talking about the Japanese version, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
no,
dub.
because I was like, the English voice, their voices are very soothing.
No,
like they're very like, hi,
So maybe it's
like
worth a try then.
it's so worth a try. That's why I'm saying it's better. Like again, hang on.
We're hanging on. In the meantime, so just to fill in the audience a little bit more too. So me and Emily completely blind to this show. However, Ian
Yes.
has seen, this is one of his favorite shows. I think he said he's seen it like 5 times. So he's more showing it to us, and we're seeing our reaction.
I have seen
and
this
stuff like
show 5 times.
Wow.
I think it's better than One Punch Man. I think it's better than Cowboy Bebop. I like it better more than Hunter. Like it's one of my favorite animes
Wait,
ever.
no, you can't tell me you like it better than Hunter x Hunter.
You have not gotten into the good parts yet.
It's true.
Okay,
We're
I
only
can
getting
see
to the
that. I
start of
can
it.
see that.
And that's what we'll talk about a lot. I do think so. Yeah, I felt like, to me, it gave me a lot of Cowboy Bebop vibes in terms of, like, you know, the whole Western style thing. Of course,
Mhm.
Cowboy Bebop is everything. That's the whole point of it. But it has the Western parts as well, and the style is somewhat similar.
The 90s
and
animation.
then,
Yeah.
but then also, like, Vash's existence is very One Punch Man. Like, well, it's more of what One Punch Man, sorry, is making fun of. You know, like I feel like that's what, you know, that protagonist who's just OP completely.
Yeah, I feel like Saitama is more of like a commentary on like the Goku character, whereas this one,
Yeah, you're right.
this one I believe is kind
Vash
of
kinda
more of a
just, like-
reaction. Is a more reaction to Spike from Cowboy Bebop, the wandering gunman, the
Yeah, I can see
always
it.
cool collective, is a goofball who loves donuts.
I love that so much.
Yeah, I actually wanted to. I looked up which came out first, and I think Cowboy Bebop came out first in terms of the anime. At least I don't know about the manga, but
Cowboy Bebop was an anime first.
Mm.
yeah, and so I actually made the decision to look that up because I kept seeing similarities between them. But you know who Vash also reminds me of is, you guys can disagree with me here, but but I swear some of these episodes I get Doctor Who vibes. Like I feel like that's so out of left field because I know that's totally not anime.
Kind of.
But like,
Kind of.
I don't see it. You'll have to explain yourself on that one.
Okay.
well,
I
'cause-
only know why. I only know why because can I spoil something? It's kind of already told. It's already
No,
inferred.
don't
it's
spoil
inferred.
it.
It is
That.
told in the
No
sixth episode.
spoilers.
It is already told.
No.
They already told you in the sixth episode.
No.
No
Okay.
No spoil that.
I'll show you when we get to the sixth episode. Okay.
Oh, so it's something we know.
Oh,
Yes,
it's
it is
we've
something that we
seen.
know.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
Oh,
going to
yeah,
tell us
you're
something we
fine.
didn't know.
Sorry, I got
No,
scared.
no. This series is full of spoilers, but there's spoilers that we know about. So
Yeah, so that's
as long
fine.
as we know about them.
The spoilers are episodes 1 to 7. Now let's start on the first
Okay,
episode.
good. Okay.
Wait,
do you
say the
wanna say
thing.
what
Say
you-
the
yeah,
thing.
the thing, 'cause
Episode 6. Go for it.
I really want to dig into this thing about Doctor Who because I'm curious about it.
Okay. The reason why is because so in episode 6, do you remember? It's the lady who is vengeful at Vash because he destroyed the city of July, right?
Yes, I just watched that.
How
Yeah.
old she was relative to Vash, like the same age.
Yeah.
In the flashback,
Oh,
he was
that
himself.
is kind
He
of
was.
true. I was wondering about that, but I haven't made any conclusions about that. Don't tell me age things that spoil if we don't.
It's
totally
not
know
spoiling.
Yet, 'cause
It's already
I did-
shown to you.
Yeah, but you gotta make your own conclusions. I don't know. I just thought, oh wow, she must be kind of young. That was kind of what I thought. That was the only conclusion I made.
No.
But no, I see the Doctor Who thing just because he's
Because of
like
Millie and Meryl.
he's really kind.
Mm. Oh,
No,
kind of
no.
like how he like at the beginning he didn't like really want to kill anyone, right?
Yeah, no, he tries his hardest not to kill anyone. He instead gets
Yeah.
out of situations in a goofy way, even though he's
Mhm.
really just good at everything. But instead he like gets away from killing people, and then he's always just trying to promote love and peace. That's his whole gimmick, at least in these episodes.
I love that.
You're gonna see
Love
something
and
even
peace.
more.
Peace.
You're gonna see something even more because later on they get into more of his serious side.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like,
Yeah, I noticed
now I
that.
actually
think it was
see.
like episode 5, like 4 or 5, and they started getting into a serious side, and it started getting good.
Mhm.
Which one?
I feel like
what was episode 5?
that was
Yeah.
the one with the
Oh,
punchy guy,
Oh
right?
yes,
Or was that
the punchy
episode 4?
guy. Okay, so I think we should. All right,
Yeah,
let's
when he
just
saved
start.
the town.
All right, let's start on episode 1. So, what do you?
Okay.
All right, let's start on the obvious thing. What do you guys think of the opening?
I thought it was pretty cool. I really like it.
Aiden?
Yeah, I like it too. Definitely kind of had to grow on me for a little bit because it's like, just a hard electric guitar, like we're just going. But no, now I'm rocking out to it. I'm in my room and they're like, "Oh no!" And I'm like, "Yes, let's go."
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
whatever.
no
they
vocals
say.
in it. That's what I also like. Like your attention is drawn
and
right to the action on the screen.
And it looks like they put a lot of work into it because every opening has different bits of the different episodes. Well, maybe that's not like a lot of work,
No, it
but
does.
still, it's something I
It
noticed.
does.
Mhm.
At certain episodes, I
So-
think episode 6 had a different opening. Like it's like there's
6 and 7, I'm pretty sure have the same one.
they had different frames.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm
Not
not paying
frames, but
attention.
like there
I
were
don't know.
similar. They're the same changes to the formula, I would say. Okay, but
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the
Episode-
opener. I really like rock music, so I was kind of vibing with it from the beginning. It's kind of, in my opinion, I've heard better ones, so it's kind of mediocre to me. But just the fact that it's rock music, I like it. I vibe with it.
yeah. So episode 1, the 60 billion $double man. You guys really not notice that there was like they're saying 60 double dollars, or do they have like
I
the
saw the
dollar sign?
dollar sign.
Or do they say the dollar sign on there? It just said the dollar
It's
sign.
subbed. So
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
see
no,
the-
in the text it does have $2 but I didn't really know that that's like they were saying $double. I
Yes.
thought it was just like either a stylistic choice or like a cultural thing. I really didn't know.
It makes you think. So like we're so far in the future, and inflation has gone so much that the dollar has turned into the double.
Oh wow.
Ooh, okay.
That's like-
I hadn't even put together what time period we were in. I was just kind of getting immersed in the world, like desert stuff and technology stuff. That's all I kind of got from it. What did you think of the first episode, though, Emily? Like just blind to the show. What were your first couple kind of thoughts?
I thought it was an interesting episode. I honestly had no idea what was happening at first. I was super confused, but I really like Vash. I think he's like really funny. And then I didn't expect the insurance girls to like continue being in the episodes. I thought they were just like a one and done thing, but they're pretty cool too.
Yeah, the insurance girls are definitely growing on me. Like at first, I didn't care much about them. I was just like, just show me this Vash guy, because I think he's definitely the appeal. He's like, like so like we did Violet Evergarden last. Like everything in the story is crucial. Whereas I feel like in this show, definitely the most important thing is Vash's character. Like that's what they're prioritizing over everything else.
Even then,
like,
the characters themselves are given time to grow and like show each other, because there's I think like 26 episodes in this. So like,
oh yeah, definitely.
We get to see 26 episodes, so we get to see like their little characters, because they give time to breathe, which is honestly why I like older form anime, because like other than now where it's like 12 episodes a season, it was 24 or 26 episodes a season, and you like see the characters. Also, I was rocking with Millie as soon as that strap broke and punched the guy in the face with her gun.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah.
Do you not remember that?
Do you remember that? The big old gun right at the beginning?
No.
All right, so they walk into a bar. They walk into a bar, and like, I will say, like, this episode's probably my least favorite. I genuinely think it's the worst episode out of the series, because it's like very anime trope-ish. Like just the first, but when they were ordering milk, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we can give you our milk." Like that's what they said.
Oh yeah, that's right. I do remember that. And
I was
then
cringing so hard. But like, so like this guy like slammed the table in front of them, and then like the strap on Millie's minigun broke and like slammed down and punched the guy in the chin.
Oh,
Like it
I
flipped
remember
the table into his chin, and like all the guys backed away, because she just like one-handed like lifted it up and like put it on her shoulders, like like right on her shoulders. Like, anyone else? And like I'm like, yes, yes, I'm down with her. Yes.
I like it because it seems like Millie is like she's supposed to be like the like she's kind of the dumb one. Like I think that's what they're doing with her as of now. But she's also
not dumb.
Like
she's like really smart,
street smart. She's super street smart. Whereas Meryl, the smaller girl,
that's
is like
her
very
name.
Meryl Strife.
I've been going this entire time without knowing her name.
Really?
Yeah. I forgot their names too.
And I haven't bothered. I knew Millie because she says it all the time, but Millie never calls her the other girl. I already forgot. What did you say it was?
Meryl Strife. Yeah,
nice.
That's the another thing of watching a show in your native language, is that you get to like actually hear the right pronunciations.
No, but the thing, what I'm saying is that Millie never said Meryl's name. She always called her ma'am. So I just completely didn't know her name.
She doesn't do that in the dub. She just calls her Meryl.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's a cultural thing. I think it's a cultural thing, because I think Meryl is her superior, and in Japanese culture, the superior one, like the supervisor's always above, and you always call him ma'am, sir, sensei.
Yeah, I think that's how it
that makes sense.
I did want to say though, like, I don't think Millie is dumb. Like I was saying that she's presented to be the dumb one, but like she definitely is. She kind of knows what's going on.
She catches on Vash she catches up on Vash so quickly. She's like, yeah, no, that's Vash.
Yeah, from the very beginning, she was like, "That's Vash. That's totally Vash. That's totally him." And then Meryl was like, "No, it's not. What are you? What are you?
I'm so mad at Meryl. I'm so mad at Meryl. It's until like episode 6 she realizes that's actually Vash.
No, it was episode 5. It was episode 5.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I was so mad. I was like, "Bro, like, what are you doing? It's obviously him."
Well, that's because we're seeing I love that gag that he does. We see all the awesome things that he does, but they don't.
And also Meryl's like super prideful. Like she doesn't want that to be Vash. She's got her own like character things going on.
Also, from this point, like she likes Vash totally, right? Like by episode 7, like yeah, she gets all flustered when he's around. Yeah, she likes.
I didn't get that impression, but okay.
Again, I'm watching this like with.
Well, now I know that that's gonna be true because you've seen the show,
bro.
I mean, it was actually
Anyway,
shown. It's actually shown. It is
No, but
actually
it's all
shown.
about interpretation. Things are possibilities until proven. So if something's a
Watch those
possibility,
again.
sometimes the show.
Watch those episodes again of
I
like
know,
later
but
on.
sometimes shows bamboozle you. You know, they make you think one thing and then they do another thing. So if you say that
Sometimes.
it is doing that thing, then I know they're not gonna bamboozle me. You know, like you
Okay.
gotta want to be
Okay.
taken by wherever the show is taken.
Okay. I do
Right.
think though episode 1
In
has
which case,
the best opening scenes. One of the best opening scenes.
when they're like shooting in that,
This
and
show
then
has
he's
an
just
awesome
like in that
scene.
one little area
Yeah,
that they missed.
this show has this awesome. The first episode is like they're in a bar and these two guys are drinking, and this one guy in this red coat, who we find out is later Vash the Stampede, is sitting at the bar drinking a whiskey, and they're like, "Hey, did you hear that he destroyed that Vash the Stampede, the humanoid typhoon, destroyed another town? Like, really, the guy with the 60 billion double? Like, it's very like laying it like
Western kind of thing.
exposition." And then like
Oh yeah, yeah.
the bar guy, what's his the the barkeeper, he like
Bartender.
went out to like take the trash in the front, and like you just hear like this giant whoosh, and then the whole top of the bar is sliced off.
Oh, I
Like
remember that. Yeah.
not just the roof, but the walls are just sliced off, and then you just guns open up on the bar, and oh my goodness. Like the whole thing's getting torn, and the sign that like got thrown off falls in front of the guy, falls in front of Vash, and like the sign gets riddled with bullets, and it's like none of it gets to him. And then the sign
Yeah, and none of
falls
it touched
down.
the guys.
He looks at them, pulls out a gun, and then it goes to black.
Yeah, super cool. Like
Oh
you get
my
the idea of the
goodness.
character right away. And then the
Yes.
next time you see him, he's like, you know, stealing donuts from people and stuff
Right.
like that. And
No,
just
because it's
being a
later
complete
shown. It's
idiot.
later shown like a
Yeah, later shown that
flashback. It's like he pulled it and he was out of bullets and he was just like running around. Oh my
yeah. So
goodness.
it's just love the way they do that, where they go from him being Mr. Cool Guy to complete idiot, like in seconds. Like he just
I
switches.
love that. That's my
Yes.
favorite thing about
So
the
much.
show is that his how like he's like shown to be like an idiot, even though he's like super cool and he's like this guy with a huge bounty on his head.
He has like
but he's just such a
hyper-awareness.
complete idiot.
He has like hyper awareness. Like he knows everything that's going on in a situation.
Yeah.
I like the thing that happens with Meryl too, where she's like, "No, he's just this guy who gets lucky," you know, because it's kind of like, obviously we know that's not the case, but it is kind of the way the show takes you as well. Because the first couple episodes, he really just kind of keeps goofing around, and it seems like he's getting lucky, and we actually know that he's not. But it's like, you know, it just shows you. It feels to me like you never 100% know whether he's totally on top of things all the time or whether he's totally not all the time. Like we know there's some sort of facade, but like where is it? Like it's impossible to
Right.
tell.
I
Sometimes,
Yeah.
this early on at least.
Yeah, early on, it's
You know,
like
without
you're like,
another
oh, he's
episode.
just bumbling through life on a complete accident. But
Uh,
man, also the bad guy in this episode, I thought he would be more major, because he has a significant part of the opening dedicated to just him. Like he's like in the center of the screen for like 5 seconds, and then he's just like it's never seen again this episode.
this big guy with green hair.
He's like-
I thought he looked weird. Like
he's like
to be
he's
fair,
like this 12-foot tall guy, like this big guy with a green mohawk and like loopy, like long, like those Buddha
like
earlobes.
from
So like
Hunter.
yeah, like the guy from Hunter
I can't
Hunter.
remember the name
And he
of.
has a cybernetic arm that's like has a bunch of pulleys on it, and a giant boomerang that he can throw and return. Like the weapon design in this is so cool, and you just get to see so much more later on in the series. It just, oh man, it's so good.
I'm guessing we're gonna get a lot of gushing. This is this your favorite anime?
It is my favorite anime ever.
Wait, really?
Yes, I think it's. I already said this. I think it's better than One Punch Man. I think it's better than Cowboy Bebop. Better than Hunter x Hunter. I like it more than One Piece. Like,
Okay, I guess that would make sense for. So that's what you were talking about last episode when we were talking about Violet Evergarden. You were like, "Wait, no, I'm going to save this."
what do you mean? Wait,
We thought you and I both kind of alluded to. our favorite anime, and then we were like, "No, we're gonna save that. We're not
Yeah,
gonna say it."
yeah.
So that
I kind
I
of shot
never
myself
did
in the
figure
foot.
that out.
I kind of shot myself in the foot by just going like, "Hey, second series recovering. Here's my favorite anime." Oh, but man, yeah,
It's funny
it's my
because Ian
favorite.
didn't even pick Trigun, like because we all pick a show. Like I think kind of I picked Trigun. We had like a list we were looking at, but it is
I
funny.
see.
Well, we picked something else. We picked something else, but I couldn't watch it because it didn't have it on my Netflix for some reason.
Oh
and so
yeah,
I
that's
had to
right.
pick
Yeah,
this
we
one.
were planning on watching Neon Genesis.
That one, yes.
Yeah,
And it wouldn't show up. Oh, fine. Okay, finally, Hunter x Hunter showed up on my Netflix. My Netflix is stupid. It just decides to not show me certain shows.
I think it's
It's
because you have the
strange.
parental
Well,
restrictions
I
on.
know
Because
that I have
no,
I can't watch anything rated R, rated MA.
yeah, because
But
Neon Genesis is rated mature.
yeah, but to my knowledge, Hunter x Hunter is rated PG-13 or whatever the
Not on
Yeah.
Netflix. Not on
net.
Netflix
It isn't.
specifically because of
Changes.
the
Yeah, it's
Oolong
weird.
fight. Of the
Okay,
Oolong fight.
but like I said, it's back. So unless they change the rating, I have no idea why it's back. But
Yeah,
anyway,
it's weird.
yeah, my Netflix is stupid, and so I can't watch Neon Genesis, and so we decided to watch Trigun.
Yeah. So we shot myself in the foot by covering my favorite anime.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Um, Something I do want to say because about the first episode specifically, like when I got into it, like just kind of getting thrown into the vibes of it. Like the first, what I thought by the end of the first episode was, this was an interesting storyline. The main character is really cool, and the art style is kind of meh. Like that's how I felt about it at first, and now it's really growing on me. But to
Really?
me, I feel like
I
at
love the
that
art
point in
style.
time, I felt like it felt like Cowboy Bebop, but worse. That's how I felt.
Bruh.
But then, but
Bruh.
I don't judge art style all that much. Like if something has a bad art style, I'm not turned off from it because it's the story that matters to me. So it really wasn't that big of a deal to me. But it was something that I kind of thought at least that early on, and now I'm getting used to it. Now I'm kind of starting to like it. But
Yeah, I would say. I do want to say about this show is that the backgrounds and like it's all hand painted. Like
Oh,
specifically shows from this era, like this era of anime where everything was hand drawn, they would purposefully do dark backgrounds. Cowboy Bebop had dark backgrounds. Yu Yu Hakusho was legit just set in the underworld so that they could just draw dark backgrounds and save on animation space. These backgrounds are so lovingly crafted. Like look back, like when we go back to watching it, look at like just the ground, look at the desert. Like it's all hand paint, it's all watercolor. It is so beautiful. And it's
that's
just
cool.
there
I
for
didn't
like
know
a
that.
few seconds. Yeah, it's amazing.
I do think the art style fits with the style of the show too. Like as I'm getting more into it, like the vibe of the show, I feel like it gets pulled through very well.
It goes from like goofy and like loose to like serious and very straight. Like the
Mhm.
art shifts are very nice. Also, the first episode is the first and only time that we see Cat Bash.
oh yeah,
I
I
don't
forgot about that.
his little face when he defeated
Oh, I
that
love
big
that.
guy.
forgot about that actually. It was is a constant thing that we see of him just kind of like defeating big dudes and or like strong forces and then just kind of being an idiot. But that's the whole show. So
Yeah. So the big tall guy with the green mohawk and his gang is like after Vash for the 60 billion double dollar bounty, and he's like running away, and he has like like the reed that you do underwater to breathe. He does that under the sand to like hide from them.
oh yeah, that's I do remember that.
And the
Just
guy
like the
who was trying
straw
to
or
find
something.
him, the guy who was trying to find him tripped over the straw. Like, how do you trip over that straw or
I
something?
love that whole. To me, the gimmick of that first episode more than anything was just the like messing with the whole who is Vash thing because they never exactly early on tell you who Vash is. Like they don't say that Vash is the main character or whatever. They just kind of leave
Well,
it
right, because they
not
have a bunch of
spoken.
rumors.
Yeah, it's
Because
all through rumors. Yeah, and like and Meryl doesn't know either, and so it's just kind of fun to see that
well,
from
yeah,
her eyes.
we'll get to that as we later go on in the episode. But him running around away from the gang that was trying to get him was so funny. Like when he would like when he picked up the dead guy's corpse and was like trying to walk away, and he's like, "Oh, where are you going? Just the bathroom, sir." And then they shot at him, and he like had to run away from the corpse. Like that was so funny.
Yeah, he's Mr. Funny Man. I like him a lot, and I like it because he's not. This is like something older. He's more to me. He feels more like a trope setter. There's like we see a lot of that kind of witty in character nowadays, but I don't know if it was as popular at that point in time.
Yeah.
Like a
Also,
more unique idea.
Emily, if you look back to it, does Vash not remind you a bit of Leorio from Hunter x Hunter?
Now that you mention it, I can kind of see it.
You need to see when Vash gets into his serious face when he gets his glasses on and everything. I swear it.
It does actually. I
The
see that
guy,
too.
the guy just straight up just took Vash, put onto Leorio.
I could see that because of the spiky hair and the glasses.
He's got that look, the smoldering
Yeah.
look,
Yeah.
almost when he gets all serious.
The good guy look.
Yeah. What do you guys think of the outro?
I like
I
it.
like it.
It's a
I think
good.
I might. I don't know if I like it more than the intro or not.
It could have
but
been the intro, is what I'm like. It could have been the intro, and I would have been fine with it.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
I like it too, and that's another thing that grew on me because at the beginning, like the first time I heard it, it feels like discordant, but I think that's kind of the whole
Well, yeah,
thing.
because all the shots show of him are like far away. Like he's taking a bath. He's like in a hammock, or he's just like walking around. Like he's just like far away from the camera.
And then after a while, I started liking it a whole lot. Like now, I let the ending play out every time, which I normally don't do for anime. Normally, when the ending is there, I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah,
But
the only animes that I do that is for the Alabasta arc in One Piece. That ending is real good, and the that's the only one that I watched through. And the Hunter x Hunter ending is the only other one that I watched through, along with the Trigun
Which
ending.
one? There's several Hunter x Hunter endings.
The first one, the one with like the metal
Oh,
screen.
I love that one. I first
Yeah.
I thought it was super weird, but I love it so much.
Yeah, it's man, it's stellar.
But yeah, I watch the intro and all of them except for like Naruto, just because it's so long and so I want to like get to the next episode quickly.
like,
but
skip.
when there's a new one, I skip the intro and the outro for Naruto. Actually, no, I think I watch the intros. Yeah, I always watch the intros for Naruto. But
There are
I skip
very
the
few.
outros. I'll watch them the first time, like when there's a new one, just to see what it is, and then I'll skip it.
Yeah, there are very few intros that I won't skip because, like, no, not that I skip all the intros, but yeah, like I said, like if I start a series, if I start a binge session, I'll start skipping them over time, right?
Mhm.
Like if I watch like 10 episodes in a day, I'm gonna start skipping them by like the third episode. The only ones that I will not skip for are Cowboy Bebop, One Punch Man, and Trigun. And I think, Hunter x Hunter. There's a lot. There's actually a lot that I refuse to skip.
the only ones I don't skip are all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it.
So,
Okay.
I feel like in the second episode we kind of get to see more of his.
It's probably one of my favorite gun designs in this episode is Loose Ruth's gun design. The bounty hunter that comes after them.
I
Do you guys
kind of
remember?
remember him
It's
vaguely.
the rifle that will flip every time he fires.
What? I don't
He
remember that.
He'll fire a gun. He'll fire like it's like two like magazines on both sides of his gun, and when he fires, it automatically like flips over and readies the next one, just like instantly. Do you guys not remember this?
Yeah, I don't remember it.
No?
Oh, yeah, you guys do
I
not.
mean,
Oh,
there's a
okay.
lot of details in the show. You've seen it 5 times.
True.
I'm not gonna remember every little thing, but it does sound cool. It reminds like weapon designs are something that I feel like in a lot of shows kind of get cast aside. So it's cool to see it done.
Yeah, sometimes it's
Cool
just
and
like
nothing like it.
giant robot, and that's it.
Yeah,
But yeah, this show
like a
goes
show
like
that yeah, and so yeah, like the whole gimmick was them not knowing it was Vash, and then at the end he kind of like escapes the big guy, and like the scythe comes, or no, the big blade, whatever it was, comes back around.
Boomerang.
like
Boomerang,
not
yeah.
kills him, but like he like messes him up because like what he does is like when like the guy throws the boomerang, he like sneaks up behind him, hits the button that recalls the boomerang, and he like freaks out and it just like wraps around him and just leaves him like foaming at the mouth, screaming. Like it was freaky.
Yeah, it was. And
Yeah, that
then
was.
doesn't something happen to the town too? Wasn't that in the first episode?
I don't think so.
It doesn't happen to the town, but the cliffside that they blew up does fall.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah,
like
that's what it was.
it ends with Meryl like writing a letter saying like the damage was due to Vash the Stampede because they're set out after Vash the Stampede from the Bernadali insurance bureau to like mitigate and track how much damage that Vash does to towns so that they can do it, which is interesting because I don't think that's like a position that you would like see in like an action anime. It's like,
No.
yeah, here's like the wandering gunman, and then later on, here's like the priest, and then here's the insurance girls. I kind of
Yeah,
spoiled it.
that definitely caught me off guard. Like, I didn't get it at first. I was like, wait, they're insurance for the bounty head? Like what? But then I slowly
Yeah, I was really confused about this. Like, why are there insurance girls?
Well, right,
yeah.
because later on in the 7 episodes, he's referred to this humanoid typhoon, and later on he's referred to as a act of God, like the damage that he does.
Yeah.
Like he's like he's not able to be covered by the insurance company because he causes so much damage because he destroyed a whole town without a single casualty. Like that's the
Okay.
big deal. Is he leaves no casualties behind. I feel like we should mention that
Yeah.
30
So
minutes into
about
the
that,
episode.
I kind of have a theory, and it's kind of jumping from episodes. But I'd like to see what you guys think of it because I find it weird. Like the I feel like the show masks itself in a way where it really seems like all the stuff that Vash does is just because he's so good, like he's just this crazy gunman. And if anything seems unbelievable, it's not unbelievable because Vash is just that good, and this is just the show we're in, right? Like it's just that's the whole fun of it, right? I'm starting to
Right.
feel like they mask the fun of that with something like I feel like there's more behind it, and they're kind of trying to hide it from you. Like him, for example, in the first episode when they shot every little piece of the wall except for where he was, or like when he was in the power plant. This is where I'm saying I'm jumping. There's in episode 5 or 6, episode 6, they're in the power plant,
Episode
and
6, yeah.
he just doesn't die. Like he's in this like electrical place that's about to blow up, and somehow he
No, he
stops it.
fixes it. He fixes it. Yeah.
Yeah, he
He
fixes
fixes
it, but
he fixes a something that's called a lost technology. Like that no one knows. Like they know how to to stabilize it, but they don't know how it all works. And he's able to just repair it without
well, they
like
don't. But the thing is, they don't show that. They just show that he's in there, and then all
right.
of a sudden
Just
he just gets
hinting.
out.
Yeah, I was curious about that too. It's like, what on earth did he do?
So that's where my theory comes in. I feel like there's like something more. My head went towards like somehow he has some form of like he can't die. Like there's something that's preventing him from being able to die, and I think that might be a
Maybe.
jump.
That is a
I
good
think it would
theory.
be interesting.
I'm going to say this right now. That is a good theory, but I'm not going to confirm or deny.
Thank you.
Deny.
Don't do
Please
that.
do not confirm or
Don't.
deny. So let's see.
Episode
I
2.
think so. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That one was nice. To me, I feel like that's when we kind of see more of his like good guy stuff coming into effect. Like the first one, we see
Also
just how like.
his simp side as well.
Oh yes, we also see his Simpson.
Oh, I
You're
love that.
absolutely right. But like, yeah, in the first one, he's just like we just see the goofiness, and then we kind of start to now. Second one, they've piled on his kind of good guyness, and also more of the goofy simp stuff, as well as we see more of Meryl and Millie. I feel like. What did you guys
Yeah,
think
real
of
quick
the
though.
episode?
Oh yeah, I did like this episode, but real quick, in the first episode, at the ending, the endings are very like in credit scene, I guess. Yeah, the end credit scenes are very good in the sense that it's like poetic. Like every end scene is a poetic like quote or something. Like for this one, like at the end of the first episode, for this episode, he was saying like look behind the eyes, always see the truth there, or something like that. Like really something very like profound and stuff. But like it still ties into the next episode story wise. I really liked it. What'd
That's
you guys
cool.
think it was?
Didn't really pay attention to those because I didn't know about it until I was like halfway through the episodes we were supposed to watch. So
Oof.
I was just like, whatever. I didn't really pay attention too much, but
Dang.
I'm used to them being kind of just full of like random stuff like Naruto or something. So I don't really pay attention to those anyway, unless it's like Hunter x Hunter where it gives you some information.
Yeah.
So
But I mean it does give you
Yeah,
information, but it's kind of like a trailer teaser. Like it's a teaser for the next episode. Like
yeah, yeah, that's
when it
what I'm
was
saying.
airing week to week. That's what it was for. But it's still really good.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about I usually like don't really pay attention to those because generally, all they do is like talk about random stuff and then say, next episode," and I'm just like, whatever. But
And they spoil the whole episode, like
yeah,
right
for
there.
real.
Usually.
Like, they do it in
They're
Attack
like,
on Titan. It makes me so mad.
in the episode, like, can Naruto beat
The answer is
Uchichamaru?
yes.
Or like, can he bring Sakura back to his side? And like the next episode's titled Sakura comes back, or Sasuke comes back to Naruto's side. Like the next episode's title. Like it's so bad when it comes to spoilers.
Yeah.
But I watch those little end things. I like them. I like they're all like little philosophical points. And although most of them I've forgotten at this point, the most recent one was something about like sin or something like that, and that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that
like
was
that
real
one.
cool.
I'll have to go back and watch them. Yeah, I skipped the 7th episode one just because I wanted to get here quicker.
Also, because the
But,
7th episode's a two-parter. It's part
Yeah,
one and two.
we were at a cliffhanger there.
I didn't realize that. We should have stopped at 6. But
yeah. But oh well.
yeah. But real quick though, the opening scene for this had me not hyped, but like very intrigued.
Which one? Episode 2?
For episode 2, because it shows a tall blonde person in a red coat, which describes Vash, being shot in the desert by this old rich man who looks like a parody on the Monopoly Man. From Mr. Like the guy with like
I know who you're saying.
mustache and like the comb over, an episode like the millionaire guy.
Oh,
I don't remember him being shot at the beginning though.
It wasn't. It's later told that it's later shown that's not Vash, but it was getting shot and it's like, I need help with that. I thought it was cool. I'm like, oh my goodness, what's going on? Because then later in the episode, you see Vash working for that guy.
Yeah, and a lot of that episode, they also mess with the whole "he's not Vash" thing, and then he actually is Vash thing. Like you're just still kind of confused early on. What did you think of the
I love how the guy hired him, and he's like, he's posing as Vash the Stampede when he is in fact Vash the Stampede. I thought that was funny.
But he goes like, "Yeah, I know. That's why I hired him, just in name only." It's like, oh, that's why I hired him, is because no one's gonna mess with me if I have the Vash the Stampede, quote unquote.
And it really wasn't. Little did he know.
How little did he know? But yeah, no, because Meryl and Millie like wander into this town that's completely dried up, and when they went to the well and like they pull up and it has a hole in it, and like they pull the bucket, it has a hole in it with rocks in it. Like it's complete. Like the town's a mess.
Yeah.
And they go to that mansion. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. And it's like later we learn that it's we're kind of jumping around, and it's all because of the Mr. Monopoly Man, and it's like that kind of it's his granddaughter, right? That one girl.
No, it's not his granddaughter. He's holding her in because she needs protection, or she's.
It's somebody else's granddaughter.
It was kind of. It's not construed, but not. What's the term? Kind of like pulled out of thin air almost. It was like, yeah, she's just here because she needs to be protected or something. Like she's like the daughter of some friend of his.
Gotcha, yeah. And then
how little does he know? Once again,
does some simping, and then later we kind of see what she's actually there for.
Yeah, okay, I missed that part. I was really confused. I didn't feel like going back to look at it, but I completely missed what was the plot twist regarding her.
You did? You forgot that?
Yeah.
Well, again, I have,
You've seen it 5 times, dude. Chill.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, no,
I'm
blanked.
The twist was it was kind of like she was kind of trying to figure out the operation that he had going, like she was like some sort of police or something like that, because he was doing the no stuff with the water.
Oh, right? Yeah, see, I missed that part.
Yeah, what happened was that like the town is completely dried up, and he's like selling the water. And his reason is
Right.
because, well, if everyone has access to it, then it'll all be dried up. I have to regulate the use of the water, which he really just has a
When he's
monopoly on water. And it's later shown,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
in the thing, is like he has this huge like underground basin where it's just like making ice and just like stacking it up and just be like, yeah, no, I have all this water. I'm like gonna become like a freaking millionaire. Like, come on.
Yeah, I remember that part. I missed the part that the girl was the police or whatever, but I remember that part.
I must say, the just like the because when Meryl and Millie like asked, oh hey, can we stay in this mansion because we need water and food? He's like, yeah, no, you can help us. You can help me be one of my bodyguards. And then he just puts him in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Like messed up. That was messed up, but at the same time, like I was because they were like, "This is messed up. Why would he do this to us?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I laughed at least.
Um,
But Millie was happy because she got her water.
Yeah, she was drinking out of the faucet.
Water. I've been sitting here. We've been talking about this, and I'm so thirsty. I've been sitting here like
Same.
drinking my water.
Same.
It's already almost empty.
Oh no.
and then I liked at the end, after everything was said and done, the girl Marianne, she kind of like told Millie and Meryl, or more. She's really more told Meryl because Millie was, she kind of already knows about Vash, but she's just like, no, he's a cool dude. And then Meryl's like, no, I don't think so. And then she's all like, you have bad taste in men. I thought it was funny.
I forgot about that.
Okay, so that was.
You guys want to say it?
What,
I don't know. Well, it was just like when it was like when Vash was like not stalking, but he like tried to get like a sneak peek into what was her name? Annabelle? No.
Marianne.
What
I
was
can't remember her name.
Ariane? Yeah, Ariane.
Yeah.
I think when you heard the shower going from his room, and like he
Oh,
like
yeah.
tried to get there, like he tried to peek down,
Yeah.
and Melee walks in with like towels, and he's like, "Oh, hello! Like, what are you doing there, Vash? Oh, I'm just looking for spooks. Looking for
Yeah.
they said that
Looking for
said that-
spooks.
looking for spooks." And he's like, "Oh well, be on your way to spooks." And then she's like slams the window on him, like she knows what she's doing.
I feel like the show does a really good job at pacing because I feel like episode 1 we get to know Vash, episode 2 we get to know Meryl and Millie a little bit more while still getting to know Vash. Like it's just very good at slowly getting you to know, or giving you the information on the characters just through letting them live through the episodes, putting them in different stories.
However, there is something really cool in this episode is where man, what's her name? Marianne. Marianne was getting changed. And when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh no, not like a gratuitous anime like um scene, like fan service scene."
Uh,
And it's shown like she's wounded, like she's like all wrapped in bandages with like gunshots in her. And like
oh yeah, that's when
it's
you kind
later
of
shown.
start to see more.
It's later shown like she was the person that the guy was shooting at. I think his name was like Mr. Caesar or something. Cliff. Cliff Caesar.
Yeah, that's right. That's where it comes together.
Yeah. And so like they're like trying to like it's later I think this is where like his hyper awareness thing comes in, because we're shown earlier in the episode that there's this like pulley thing that opens a curtain, and like earlier in the episode they were talking about like, oh yeah, no, I need to protect this person, and like they were talking for like 10 minutes. I need to protect this person. Pulls the cord, and like Marianne's shown there, and it's just like a semicircle with like just a wall there, so she's just like standing there the whole time listening to their conversation.
Yeah.
Like that was kind of funny because like it's later shown like because Meryl pulls him in, is like talking trash about Vash, and they can obviously hear him because they're like 4 feet away from him.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was funny. I was like,
Yeah.
what is the point?
Yeah, but what's funny is where Vash's like hypersense comes in, that I think is he quote unquote falls down, like trips over the couch, pulls the cord even harder, and opens up another door, like a hidden door in the wall that leads down to the basement, where there's a ice, like where
Yeah,
like the
that's
whole
where we see the
operation's
whole
going down.
monopolizing thing, and that's
Yeah, and
more.
it's shown that Marianne is like a gunman or a marshal that's like here to bring him down.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So to me, I think my favorite episode was episode 3. I'm pretty sure as of now. Well, that's kind of hard to say because there were some pretty good parts in each of the later episodes. Like to me, 1 and 2 were good, and then 3 and on were really good in my opinion.
Which one was 3 again?
It's the one with the gun maker, the drunk guy.
Yeah, the
Oh
drunk
yeah,
guy.
the drunk guy.
Like I really really liked that episode. It started where I thought it was gonna be just weird, but I ended up really liking it. And I liked what was it? And there's this bit where they just kind of like get drunk together, and then they're like, on the way to completely crashing and blacking out and stuff like that. And then Frank Marlin, he just says something about like you kind of see more of to his character because he's this, just super like loud drunkard who doesn't seem like he has anything to him. And then he says something about like gosh, I can't remember now. Like who you trust or what people do with what you give them. Like ultimately nothing matters.
Yeah,
Like
because it's shown that he had a wife and daughter that was killed in a bank heist,
and it
and
was with
it's
the
later
gun he
shown.
made.
Yeah, no, because it's shown in the episode that the town had like a bandit problem, and so he was a gunsmith. So he made a whole bunch of guns for like all the people, and they drove him out. And the guns that were used to kill his wife and daughter, he had given to the guy personally.
Mhm. So like from then he was like the small town hero, and then from then he just kind of got bitter and started falling into alcohol and stuff like that,
And
which
then
would make
he's
sense
the
because he lost
town
his
drunk.
family.
He's the town drunk now. Yeah.
Yeah, but then like liked we get to see more like Vash's effect on people because then Vash wakes up and these people are like these bandits are trying to like get into the bank and stuff like that. Vash
By
goes
using
to
Vash's name, by saying like this guy's Vash the Stampede, like
yeah,
obey him or get shot. And Millie and Meryl are like there trying to like mitigate it, like by trying to like
uh,
minimize the amount of damage that he's doing by obeying him and like going into the vault and like grabbing all the money bags and stuff. I was laughing at that.
yeah, it's fun. And then like Vash and Frank are there, and then Vash goes and walks out and actually tries to save people and stuff like that.
And he's hidden
And
in a
it's just
trash
like
can. He's hidden as a trash
that
can.
was
No,
really
because there's
cute. I
this
like that.
great interaction. There's this great interaction where he's hidden in the trash can and like he has like the tent like the lid as like a hat and he's like
Yeah,
I can hide in as a hostage and then Frank just comes in like puts his elbow on him like leans on him and like pushes him down into the trash and like won't happen like won't work. And just like it's like I can do this. No, bang.
yeah,
Like
and
putting
I
him
like.
down physically and verbally. I like that.
Mhm. So like when he went up to the bank robber and he has this like gun in his pocket, which is just like totally a fake gun. Like I feel like we could all kind of tell, but it's still
Yeah,
it's
he doesn't
fun.
have his
And
gun
then
because he left it at Frank's house to get it repaired. Because that's why he
yeah,
was in that town in the first place, was to find him to get it to repair.
and so he has this like his fingers out, and it's like it's just kind of like to fool the guy. And then he gets the whole town to rally against him, and finally the guy gets scared. And then Frank comes behind him and has, he's just like, hold it right there. And then finally, as they run away, I love it. Vash goes like, same gun. And then you see
Yeah, no,
Frank is
because
also just
he
has
put his
his
fingers up
fingers
to the
out
guy's head and he's like, wanna risk
onto
it?
this
And I'm like,
guy's head. Yeah.
you can't tell the
I
difference
also
between
just love it
flesh
because
and
like,
metal.
yeah, no,
Like
it
between
didn't make
flesh
any
and
sense
metal, like come on.
realistically. But it's a good moment because I kind of like how Vash affects other people's lives. Like you see Frank kind of saw somebody who didn't care about how other people were gonna treat what he did for them. He just did the good thing anyways. And then that kind of was enough for Frank to be like, you know what, I am gonna help out, and it was cool. I like
Yeah,
that.
and then he
That's probably
fixed
why I
his
like that.
gun. Then he repaired his gun.
Yeah, and then he gives up alcohol. At least he says he's going to.
Yeah. Also, it's really cool because Vash has not specifically said that I am Vash the Stampede. It's just kind of shown to us doing like the
At that
things that
point,
he
yeah.
does. But because Frank goes, "Hey man, what's your name?" and they've been drinking a lot. Like, "Hey man, what's your name?" and like he goes, "Oh well, I'm," and he just throws up because like Millie and
Puke, yeah.
Meryl like perked up, is like, oh, what's his name, and then he just throws up and like cuts himself off.
Yeah, I noticed that he was purposely not saying who he was. I don't think he said who he was until a few episodes later. Well,
He
actually,
finally-
he never actually says I am Vash the Stampede. It just like they just kind of figure it out.
I still don't
He just
think
kind
he's
of
ever
goes with
said
things.
it.
He's just like, oh, okay.
I don't think he said it until like technically when like the whole town finds him in that one episode.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
yeah.
Like, but even then, because someone's like, "You're Vash the Stampede, right?" And then he just says yes. He's never actually said I am Vash the
Right,
Stampede.
he never denies it because I think it's like episode 2. Millie and Meryl are like eating ice cream on like a patio, and like Vash walks by, and like Millie goes, "Hi, Vash," and he goes, "Oh, hey, Meryl, hey,
I
Millie,"
remember that. Yeah.
and
Well, he doesn't
he's like,
deny it. Yeah,
"See,
you're
he
right.
answered, he answered. Like, it's got to be Vash," and Meryl was like, "No, that's not him. You can call out to someone, they're gonna answer, which is not how it works."
Yeah, it's totally
That's
not.
not how
Like, if
that
you call
works.
out, "Hi, Vash," and your name is not Vash, you're not going to answer.
Right, like if me and Emily were like standing together and someone goes, "Hey, Ian," Emily, you would not turn around to see who called out to me.
Well,
Like
I
if
would
they
look, but I wouldn't say hi back if they were
or like
talking
if you're
specifically
standing
to me.
alone, and someone calls out in your direction, "Hey, Ian."
Yeah.
No, I would say though, with the way that Vash is, like, I feel like if he was alone and somebody goes, "Hey, Billy," I feel like he would go, "Hey, what's up?" Like, honestly,
Yeah,
like
Good.
that's just his character.
go with the
I
flow
mean, I
guy.
don't know,
Yeah.
maybe.
That's just me.
Yeah. Okay, so
It's
that was episode 3, Peacemaker. Which was it? This
yeah.
one
Um,
where he like yelled "love and peace"? No, that was episode 4.
No, that was the one called Love and
it's
Peace.
the next one.
Yeah, it's actual
I
love
love
and
it.
peace.
They took that a little too long, but it was kind of funny. Love
Yeah.
and peace.
Also, if you looked at his fingers when he did that, like he crossed them in a way, like his fingers are
Yeah.
like double jointed. Like at least his like his
Really
middle finger's
weird.
like double jointed. Like if you look at the way it was angled, like it like folds almost in a weird way.
It's called crossing your fingers.
But look it up. No, look it up and like look at it because you can't do that with your fingers. Because like the pointer finger's like perfectly
I'm gonna
straight,
do
and
it
the
right
other
now.
finger is like wrapped around it.
I can do that, bro. You just cross your
But
fingers.
that's not that hard.
Okay, no, I'm looking it up.
It's not
Like
that
I'm gonna
hard.
show you
Looking
this. I'm
at
gonna
it,
show
and I'm
you
Well,
it.
I'm
doing it.
looking it up too.
I'm gonna show you this.
It's not that hard, dude. Oh yeah, definitely.
Look at my fingers.
Yeah, see,
You see?
it's not that hard. It's not.
Can't see your camera. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's
It's not that hard. And then if it's the pointer finger, it's not. It's
It's like wrapped around
Is-
is like perfectly this way. Ow. Okay, so back to the podcast.
yeah. That was just very important.
yes.
Yeah.
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 Very important things to discuss. But anyways, so this was episode 4 was actually the one I probably paid the least attention to, even though I did like
I
it.
skipped this episode on accident, but I still
Bruh.
remember it.
For
I still
episode
remember
4.
it.
Of course you do.
I know. I still, of course, I've seen this 5 times.
Yeah. One guy who loves episode 4 is gonna feel real just sad right now.
It's a good episode.
It
Ian-
is.
sorry.
Ian's the
I
guy.
don't
It's a good
remember it.
episode. You don't remember it?
I mean, I do. I remember the Love and Peace, but and then I remember.
All right, I'll read you the wiki thing.
Oh,
Meryl
wait,
and Millie get trapped in a hostage situation inside a
Oh,
saloon
yeah!
where a
Okay,
young
right.
lady named Stephanie Bostock is being held for ransom from her
Mhm.
father, Earl Grim Reaper Bostock, and Ash inadvertently he dances away like he has he has headphones in and
I
he just
love
like
that part.
dances
That's my
in
favorite
and like
part of the whole
completely
episode.
he dodges all the bullets. He's just like,
I
yeah,
remember
boo,
that.
boo, boo. Like he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing.
He definitely
That's
does.
again where I love, like, the show never explicitly tells you whether he's totally aware of everything or whether he's totally just being a complete idiot and getting away with it.
He completely knows. He totally knows.
I think it's up
Which
to
he has to
interpretation at
know.
that point, you know.
That makes sense. I agree with
Really?
Ian though, that in this situation specifically, he's got to know what he's doing to dodge all those bullets with headphones on. There's no way he just did
I
it.
guess it
Like,
makes sense.
there's no way. This is like when this come out. 98. This came out in 1998. They did not have AirPods. Okay, like we can still hear people. No one's going, oh crap, he's got his AirPods in, he can't hear us. No, he's got wired headphones in. He can hear the gun. He can hear gunshots. You can
It's-
easily hear gunshots.
Regardless, I liked, and then the whole episode in the hostage situation, he kind of plays the fool to the people who are holding everybody hostage,
Yeah.
where he's actually totally in control of the situation there too. So I think
Mhm.
that does go along with what you
Yeah,
guys are saying.
because his because they're holding the daughter hostage to keep to because their land was taken by her father, who was a notorious gunslinger, and because his nickname
Yeah,
was the Grim Reaper. Yeah. And
yeah,
so the sheriff, I think the sheriff like orders in a bunch of mercenaries, like wild mercenaries, to come in and like get them out. And it just goes to crap. Like it just hits the fan so quickly. Like as soon as the mercenaries get there, because they send some because they're like, give us this much money. Like I think it was like 20 or like 20,000 or 200,000 double dollars. And they like
Mhm.
pull in like in an armored truck and like, all right, we got your money. And like there's like one guy, he's like, yeah, no, boss, I'll go check. And he's like so happy and like runs out and he opens and he's like, it's a trap, pun intended. And he just get like lit up, like he just gets lit up right there.
yeah.
Poor guy.
Yeah, poor guy.
I remember that.
Good episode because we
So and
actually
then
this is the episode where we see sorry for getting off, but we see Meryl's weapons in this episode.
oh
That
yeah,
was this episode?
That was this episode with all the little derringers.
little
Wow.
guns.
Forgot about that.
I was like, oh wow, that's actually cool. I thought she had no way to defend herself. Correct.
Yeah, yeah, no, that was real cool. Like our little guns, like, oh, pew 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 pew.
Oh, okay, I remember that now. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's also the episode with the really corrupt sheriff, and then there's that whole at the end of it, or mayor, right?
I thought this was. I thought this was. I thought that was this one.
Yeah, that's what I
Was that
said.
not this one? Oh, it was this one. Okay. Yeah, no, because the sheriff was like, "Yeah, no, I'm going to be in charge," and so he got a whole bunch of people to just like hold everyone hostage again, like reverse hostage situation. Kind of like he brought in like the mercenaries and then like demanded like, "Yeah, no, you're going to
And then he
make
was all
me
like
boss."
to clear up the situation and stuff like that, and so that he could get away with it. And then there was a duel, and then Bash was like, "Nope, love and peace, you
Yeah,
guys." And I thought
love
that
and
was really
peace,
cute.
love and
That just
peace.
gives me
Yeah,
more. That's why I get Doctor Who vibes. Like he's just trying to spread the love and the peace, and he doesn't even nobody knows
specifically
what his
like
name is.
Christopher
I
or like David Tennant
I'm saying.
vibes, like David, like number 10 vibes.
I could see
Yeah, I
Matt
could see
or
that.
Christopher as well, but
Yeah, but
good.
this all right. This also shows again his hyper awareness. He knew Meryl had guns on her. Like he knew
Oh, yeah, that
because
was right.
he
Noted.
set up like a situation where uh they where like it opened a shot for her and she went out and like, how'd you know? And he goes, I can never forget the smell of gunpowder and oil, I think.
Yeah.
Like he's
And he noticed
experienced,
when
like
she was gonna
he knows stuff.
Yeah.
So next episode, like the last 3, 5, 6, and 7, to me are where things we start seeing the more serious side of Ash's character.
Yeah, for sure. It started out in like episode 3, kind of, but it definitely got more frequent in episode 5, 6, and 7.
5, I must say, is the specific scene where he was saving the woman from the rubble. That scene
Oh yeah, I love that.
alone is like when I first saw it, I'm like, that yes, yes. Yeah, I like this guy. It's still not my favorite episode in the show. We'll get to that episode soon.
Who? Well, I liked like at the beginning of it was very fun because they're all chasing after him for being. Wait, that was that one, right? Yeah, they're all chasing after him for being
Yeah, the
Vash's
whole
stampede.
city is chasing after him because
Then
it was a really cool scene because like this whole like group like gang like 5 guys. I'm taking over this episode. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I'm like very passionate about the show. But it's like a group of guys like barrels in there and it's like, Vash, here you go, and like they light him up and it shows a body. It shows him like lying on the ground like covered in what we think is blood, and like one by
yeah,
one
then
like
Yeah.
he gets up
tomato.
and like he just like starts like talking to the guys and they're like shaking in their boots and like until like led to like the leader going like, are you kidding me and my buddies here are multi-millionaires now, multi-billionaires, like we can cover this place because they like shot up like the restaurant. And he just turns around and like they all try to open fire on him and like earlier like I guess in the opening or something, but his
He's a
kid's
kid's
complaining.
gun, and he
The
uses
kid's
it against
complaining to his
him.
mom,
Yeah.
like, I want a real gun. I want a real gun. I don't want this fake gun. And like as soon as like try to pull on him, Vash like grabs the kid's gun and just like lights him up and like hits him all in the face with like these like plungers,
Yeah,
like
the
these plunger
little
darts. And they're like, imagine, and he's like, imagine if it was a real gun, and just like hands it back to the kid, and they just and then he makes them strip down and they run out in in their underwear.
That poor
uh,
kid.
like I feel like um the whole show is just full of wholesome moments. Like Vash, like going like helping this kid out. He's like, I don't like this gun, and then Vash like uses it to save. And now that kid loves that gun. Just little things like that.
Right, yeah. But also, I get it's one of my favorite lines from the show. It's why would I buy a bullet when it can buy me a good plate of pancakes?
Oh yeah, I remember. He's talking about how he doesn't use his gun,
Right, yeah,
And then they
which
all
also has Doctor Who vibes.
exactly
too, yeah.
again. You see yeah. Anyways, okay, so that's
Okay,
the part where
yeah.
they
So
all
like
start
the whole town
chasing
goes after
after
Vash.
him,
The
and
whole town goes after Vash because they're like, yeah, no, why buy a bullet when I can buy a plate of pancakes? And he's like, oh yeah, true. And then one by one they all draw a gun on him and like, please forgive us.
yeah. I think that bit's really fun because he's just, like he's just running away. Like he's fine. He's nothing bad's gonna happen. And then that's when Meryl and Millie find out. And then the guy who's trying to save the town hires these like big
Nebraska
bad people
family.
on him.
Oh my goodness, I hate
the
the
Nebraska
Nebraska
family.
family.
And then like he goes and he saves the people that were hunting him down to kill him. Like he envies them instead, or not envies them. He pities them instead. And it's just like shows he's just a cool dude. I like him.
Yeah, one thing,
And
man, I don't like those guys because it's like it's kind of like the guy from One Punch Man, like in the first episode, kind of like the brother and the two brothers, like the one tall one and the one little one that rides on his shoulder. Whereas this
yeah,
one, like,
it's
so the
that.
father and son, and the father rides in his little coat pocket because, like, the son is like 30 feet tall and like
Yeah.
Oh,
looks very messed up, like with his head's expanded. He has like this rocket arm. He can't speak full sentences, and he stubs his toe on a car.
Yeah.
He's like, well, "Who put this car here? Who put this car in the road here? Get this out of the way!" And yeah,
I struggled looking at them, to be honest. It was
that's fair. That's
I was
fair.
very ugly. That's the idea. Yeah, so like then he just saves the day being him, and then that's when Meryl finally like kind of says, "Yep, he's Vash. I get it now."
yes, that
Yes. No,
finally.
because I think it was no, it's because he like hides in a building and it turns out there's a whole bunch of women in there and I think what's the line he says? He's like, "Oh, gunslingers and aprons. Don't want the children to see this." Because like there's a little girl right there. Like there's a little girl like right there like watching. And it's like, "Oh, kinda. Oh no." I don't know what's gonna happen. And then the
Yeah,
fist flies through and just crushes the whole building.
Yeah.
Oh man.
that's what I was saying. That bit where he's like pities them and actually saves them. Like he picks up all those bodies and moves them over. I really like that
Yeah.
bit. And that's
Well,
when
they're
his
all
face
alive.
is totally
They're
serious.
all alive. Yeah, it's totally serious, and they're all alive. And Meryl's like talking to herself. He's like, "That can't be Vash. Vash is like a wild gunman who never kills anyone, and uh, always is able to get out of the most wild predicaments." And like as she's saying, she's like, "Oh, this is Vash."
Yeah,
It's like
kinda
over.
like put together. So the next two episodes are episodes that you saw today, Emily. And I feel like me and Ian have been talking a lot, so you
Yes.
can say things that you
Well,
like about those
I
if you wish.
watched. No, it's okay. I actually watched the first half of episode 6 this past weekend, but I got busy and then I didn't get to finish it. So I finished episode 6 today, and then I watched 7 today.
Gotcha.
So let's see. Is it bad that I've already forgotten what episode 6 was?
6 was the one with the woman.
Oh yeah,
And
that one
Steamroller.
woman oh yeah. So, that was funny. And
yeah,
he was like,
she's like
totally smitten for.
she's like walking
Uh,
through a crowd when she gets off the bus, and like a car crashes because she's so pretty.
yeah, that was so funny. What did it even crash into? I couldn't tell what it looked like. It crashed
Crash
into
into
like a
another
crowd of.
car. Like they like
Oh,
head on
okay.
collision. Like they just bumped into each other, and they just kept going as the two drivers were looking at her.
Oh, that was funny. Yeah, and then Vash was like totally like all about her, and he was and he was acting like a dog. That was hilarious.
Yeah, she calls him
Yeah,
Spot and makes
Oh yeah,
him
that
like
was weird. That was a
like
little
that.
weird
That
in my
was like,
I
opinion.
agree.
okay, lady, I get what you're about, but no.
Yeah, that was a little weird. But yeah, that was an interesting episode. Like things started to get really interesting in this episode. Because like I'm gonna be totally honest, I wasn't really all about this show at first. Like because I prefer story. Like I prefer the like, shows that have a main story that they focus on and they really delve deep into, like The Promised Neverland or Hunter x
Yeah,
Hunter or things like that.
You're gonna love
And
the
this
show.
is very
You're gonna love the show.
like one off ish. Like every episode's kind of like its own thing, even though there is an like overall plot. Every episode is its own little thing, and I have a hard time keeping track with shows like that. And so I've just been kind of like watching it, like okay, like this is entertaining. It's like it's a good show, well made show, but it don't really vibe with me. But this episode, they revealed something, and I was like, yeah, this is getting interesting.
Because
yeah.
all right, for one,
That's where I got my theory.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, for one, um, they go to a hotel and they're like, and Vasher's like, "Oh, I'm gonna board with you, right? I'm your bodyguard." She's like, "No, you're gonna go into the inward room." And goes, "Oh, okay." And then like a ninja comes
And
in and tries to murder him.
Yeah.
And like he looks like what's the guy from Street Fighter? Sabat?
I have
no
no
idea.
idea.
Sorry, I'm not cultured,
Me neither.
but yeah, he just like switched rooms, and then he gets the one that was.
Oh yeah, he was
And then,
like,
yeah,
she was like, yeah, good thing I switched rooms on the register or whatever like that. And he was like, why would you do that?
Yeah, and
and
he's
you,
like, "Oh well, I can still play with you, right?" And like the bomb that blew up when the ninja left, like blew the bed out, and she's like, "No, you have a bed right there," and just shuts the window on him.
cold. Poor
Yeah.
guy.
Savage.
And then anyway, she shows her true self, locks him in that plant, and she
Yeah,
sees.
that was interesting.
Because the guy was
Yeah,
in
and then
there, and
that was
he took him down without killing him. Like he like shot him to where like Vash shot at the guy to where he like fell back on like his arm blades and like pinned himself to the ground.
it was like perfectly so that he didn't do any damage.
Again, he knows what he's doing.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh.
the argument could also be made that he doesn't, but I can
No.
see why.
No.
You just know. But I mean, I know it's unrealistic for it to happen that he just gets lucky every single time, but it's not necessarily all the time. Sometimes he might just get lucky, sometimes he might actually know what he's doing, and so
I have a
never really
reason.
know.
I have a
The
reason.
one-
Later on, I'll show
Yeah,
you
I'm
why
sure you
that
know
I know.
things.
Yeah. However, in this episode, it's really
I'm not
cool
trying to
'cause-
argue that he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
It's just that it's fun for the audience to just kind of, like never truly know where the, what he's
Yeah.
hiding. Like if he actually knows what he's doing, if he actually doesn't. It's just there's some
Right.
sort of facade you don't know. That's part of it.
But well, I really like this because it's before she tricked him and locked him into that reactor room, because we're shown like these giant light bulbs in each city called plants, and they're called lost technology, and no one knows how to work them, but she knows how to fix them because she studied them a little bit. Like she only knows like the bare minimum of it, and like a reactor meltdown starts happening, and they go in there to try and fix it, and the ninja guy's back in there and it tries to kill him, and there's a scene where he like grabs her and like spins around and he's dancing with her, like dancing in a way like the animation that they show. Did you guys see that?
Did see that. I thought it was cool. So, at the end, after when she traps Vash in there, then she kind of reveals the reasoning for it, and it's for revenge because we know that Vash has destroyed like a ton of cities before. There's something in the backstory. It's very like not made totally clear to us how it happens. Sometimes it looks like the cities just get destroyed in his wake, and it's not even his fault. And he says stuff like that before.
It's a good reason. It's a good reason.
But, no spoiler. Okay, but anyways, that happened to her city, and she was all like, her mom and dad like died, and he kind of like ends up feeling bad for her. So once he gets out of the plant, then she's like mad that he's alive, and he just is sorry for her. Like he just like has this look on his face, like he feels bad, and he doesn't know. He said he has no memory or something like that.
Yeah,
no, because what happened was she was a child during the when he destroyed the city of July. He got completely decimated. No one died, but everything was destroyed. But she was like, 1 million people were thrown away without home, and it just became a war zone because of you. And he goes, I don't remember. I don't remember a day before that or a day after that. That was like my first memory that I ever had since my childhood. I don't know.
That's the thing that got me interested, because now I want to know what the heck happened to her.
And then because it's shown like in her little flashback, like someone like looks over her and like hugs her in her flashback, and then like as like when they're all celebrating him and they're all walking past, she pulls a gun on him, and then he just hugs her, and then she's like, and then it's like shown the face of the guy who hugs her as a child, and it's him. Note, they look very similar in age now.
Yeah.
So why does he look the same?
I honestly just
20 years ago.
Like, maybe she's like, maybe he's like 30 and she is just like looks younger, and it's the whole anime thing. That's honestly how I took it, but I'm understanding there might be more plot things there now.
She looked like 5 during that. And she looks very grown up in this episode.
We just saw Violet Evergarden, so I was thinking maybe sus things or whatever. But
that's true. No, I will say people look their age in this show, except for Vash.
Bruh. Okay.
Is that spoilers?
It's not a spoiler. Not a spoiler.
Are you sure about that?
Not a spoiler if it's shown already. Okay, you already see that he's not the age that he is.
Oh, stop. Okay, anyway. So point is, I do like that he was no simp. Like he was a simp that whole episode, and then when it gets to something that's actually serious, that whole like goofiness goes away, and then he just feels bad for her, and then that's kind of where the episode
he knows when to be serious and when he can let loose and just be goofy.
An idiot.
Yes, an idiot.
And then finally,
since he's such a good gunman or whatever, he's like a pro, the humanoid typhoon. He has the ability to be a goofy idiot and still survive even in bad situations. I don't know. Anyway, so in this episode, in episode 7, Vash is on this ship, and he is the bodyguard, and he finds a dude, a little kid, and Vash was like, it was really funny. Vash was like, "You're a stowaway, aren't you?" And the kid made up this ridiculous story of how his I think his aunt beat him as a child.
His grandma would beat him, and his uncle got weird with him.
I thought it was his aunt. Maybe I'm wrong. But
it was his uncle. His uncle drank and got weird with him. That's what he said.
Yeah, and then he said that someone beat him. I can't remember if it was his aunt or whoever.
Grandma.
But anyway, his grandma.
He's like, no one would believe this story.
Yeah, and he was to himself. He was like, "No one will believe this story." And then it shows Vash's face, and he's like crying. He's like, "I totally understand where you come from. I will protect you." And it was like, "Oh, okay." But yeah, and so Vash is protecting this little kid, and then so Vash goes to get some food for him and his friend, and he finds Meryl and Millie working there, and they didn't have enough money, and so they decided to get a part-time job there, so that's why he found it. And so this is one of the times where Millie was acting super smart without realizing it, because she was like, "Wow, I didn't," because he bought a whole bunch of food, right? He's got to feed himself and the kid, and so Millie was like, "Man, I didn't realize you ate this much, Vash. You eat like a growing boy. And Vash walked away like, man, she's good. And then he actually he was like, the thing I'm banking on right now is how she doesn't know she's really good. So like he totally just straight up said how she is like brilliant, but she doesn't know it. So she's kind of like she reminds me of a character in a book I had to read for school, and what book was it? It was like this. Was it yeah, it was the Unwind series. In one of those books, there's a character named Grace, and she is like she's mentally challenged, but at the same time she's like insanely smart. And it just reminds me of her. It's just so funny to see how she's like super smart but at the same time kind of dumb.
It's a fun dynamic, and I think it kind of rivals Vash's Vash and Meryl. Like they all three have a really good, I want to say dichotomy, but that's for two. But the point is they all have good relationship.
Trichotomy.
Chemistry.
There you go.
Chemistry.
Yeah, that works. Well, because like Vash, he's actually really on top of things, but he seems like a goofball. And then Meryl seems like she's on top of things, but actually she's like also really hot headed and doesn't know what's happening and is just like stubborn about it. And then Millie just kind of follows along and acts all dumb, but in actuality she also does know a lot of what's going on. Sometimes maybe without realizing.
What I'm getting from this is life isn't what it seems.
That's Survivor. Yeah,
you can't.
The show actually has like a philosophy to tell later on.
Well, definitely. I feel like we're already starting to see little bits of it. There's it's setting itself up. I feel like for deep stuff.
What do you guys think it is then? What do you think it is? What do you think the core idea of the show is?
I think something along the lines of we have Vash who has some sort of like messed up history, but he's just trying his best to be a good person. And like in the way that he deals with people, he just yeah, I guess I don't really know. Tried to come up with something there, but I don't know what the core philosophy.
I have like a rough idea of what one could be, but not enough to articulate it, I don't think.
Yeah. Try it in your best opinion, like in your best way. Like, what do you think is like the thing that the show is trying to tell you?
Well, on the topic of the three dynamics of, but like the dynamic between, not between the three of them, but each of them individually, how Vash is like, he looks like he's wacko, but he actually knows what's happening, and then Millie, who is an idiot, but she looks like an idiot, acts like an idiot, but is like smarter than she knows, and then Meryl, who acts like she knows what she's doing, but she really doesn't. Like, it's like I said, it's kind of showing that life isn't what it seems, and like you can't judge people by the cover, because also that's what Meryl did. She was like, nah, this isn't Vash, he's too much of an idiot. And so it's kind of like, that's like my basic thoughts to what possibly could be a deeper meaning that I haven't, like I said, been able to articulate.
I think that's good.
Yeah, it's just like
I'm gonna tell you guys right now, you guys are very close. You almost hit it, but I'm not gonna tell you what it actually is, because it's not until like we're like in part 3 of this show that we actually figure it out.
I think maybe part. Like we are picking up, like even if it's not the core philosophy, those are definitely themes that do exist, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I said it's like life isn't what it seems, but it's not necessarily that. It's I can't figure out how to say it. It's like
there's more behind any person when you meet them. Like Meryl judged Vash right off the bat, but there's so much more. Besides what assumptions are. Like he has a history. He has reasons for doing things and stuff like that.
Yeah, everyone has their own life. We're not just it's like the world doesn't revolve around us. Everyone else has their own
and our
lives
judgments of what people are,
Yeah. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on that.
Yeah, definitely. I like it. Seems to me, even though I'm not totally smart enough to get what's going on, what the creators are trying to do, I get that they're stringing things together well. Like that we have 5 episodes where we don't even know who Vash is necessarily, and things like that. And we have a lot of emphasis on Vash wanting to be good and not wanting to be too like in the spotlight. Like remember he ran away from that town once he started being Mr. Popular save the city and all that stuff. So like they definitely the creators knew what they were doing.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so where did we stop at episode 7? We started talking about philosophy and stuff. Oh yeah, the boy, growing boy.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
the little boy. So the little boy, we were talking about how he was walking. Vash left the food, or he got the food, and he was like, "Man, Millie's on to me."
Yeah.
Yeah, because he later on goes to the room and is like, hey kid, here's your food, here's the food and stuff." And like the kid scarfs it down.
Yeah, he
He's
eats like a madman. He like takes
eats
the
it
whole
so
bag.
quickly. But it's later I kind of inferred, at least what I'm thinking what happened was that he ate it so quickly and like hid his body from him because he poisons Vash like falling asleep.
Yeah, knocks
Like
him
he
unconscious, put some
he
sort of
knocks him like, a yeah, he puts like a sleeping pill in like the food. So I'm thinking like he like snuck it in there when he was like his back was turned to him.
Mm-hmm.
and then
But yeah,
that point
because
in
it's
time it's because he's working with the bad lad gang, which
which
to
oh my
me,
goodness,
I want to see a
this
group
guy's
of
design,
something called
this
I don't
guy's
remember.
design,
Oh yes, I do remember him. Buff guy, big guy.
like the giant towers on
love
his shoulders,
I love
the
his
brilliant.
whole like pulls off the bad guy thing so well. Like every single line is to me feels like perfectly crafted with that whole bad guy persona.
Yeah, because the
Where he's all like,
brilliant
like shoot people
dynamite
for no reason.
neon. Yeah, he shoots people for no. He's like,
Yeah.
shoot first, ask questions later, and we find out that the kid is working for him, and then because they want to
Hmm.
steal all the people there, all their stuff, like all their jewelry and stuff, and uh, la 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 la,
They're
I can
trying
see
to get they couldn't get into the safe, and so they're trying to
right.
get to a certain place so they can just cut the shit open, and
Well, right,
that's
because
when the little boys like or the not really
there wasn't enough gold, and he was
yeah
like, "No, this isn't
they couldn't.
enough. Get me into the safe." And like, "No, the
Mm.
only key is in the city that we're going to." And he's like, "Okay, we'll crack it open over a cliff." And so like he makes him like
Yeah, that's
put
what
this
they're trying
train
to
at
do.
full speed ahead. I hate this. Oh my, I hate it
Then
so
he
much.
kills the
I
guy.
said, I'm sorry, my
No,
gumption.
I was to be honest, I was only halfway paying attention in this episode. So
Ah,
I
come on.
remember the things about like the little kid and the food, and then a little bit later on. But
Yeah, because
You can just
it is
whenever.
revealed that the kid's father built the place, so he knows
yes,
everything
that
that
too.
goes on.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because like when the guy who's like in charge of like keeping the speed and stuff, when what's his name? I'm just gonna call him Dynamite. Um, I'm just gonna call him BDN, Brilliant Dynamite Neon. BDN when he's like, okay, make it go faster. And he's like, no, I won't betray like the people here. He just shoots him, and he's like, oh, that was a kind of bad idea. No one else knows how to drive this train. And the kid's like, yeah, no, you have to like, he even knows that like he spits off, like you have to make sure that the liquid nitrogen does not overheat the system, or like make sure that the system doesn't overheat. And so, yeah, good stuff.
And then um like that's basically like Vash comes and saves the kid from like with the gun in his mouth and stuff like that, and he does heroic stuff, and then they fall off to the almost the bottom of the sand streamer, which by the way, sand streamer is a really cool design. Like it reminds me of Star
Yeah,
Wars, like the
Yeah, it does.
like the Ewok. Wow,
the
The
Jawas.
Jawa.
yeah, no, the Jawas, sand crawlers. Jeez, why couldn't I think of that? Our friends are gonna be so mad at me.
I am mad at you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and like they just kind of leave us on that cliffhanger because it's a two-parter, which we really ended on a cliffhanger for
Yeah, we
we
did it. All right,
stopped
yeah.
the podcast. So What was everybody's favorite episode of this first 7?
Hmm.
It hasn't come for me yet.
Well,
At
the
least.
first 7. Out of the first 7, which was your favorite?
I have to say, probably Lost Your Lot, number 6. I would say episode 6
I
with-
was thinking that one.
with the plants, because it shows like there's more to him. And I'm just saying that because my favorite episode shows that there is more to him, but it's not this episode yet.
Okay.
I want to watch this episode so bad, but we have to slow it down so we can actually watch in reasonable chunks.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think I like, yeah, it's between that one, episode 3 for me, because I don't know, something about the way that he kind of like unbittered that one. That's a weird word, but you know, he kind of helped the drunk guy to kind of see some sort of light, and also like the whole same gun thing. I don't know, I just really enjoyed that episode. But then yeah, episode 6 we get to see more behind it, and that was super interesting, and also we got to see his kindness and stuff like that, and that was fun. I also kind of liked episode 5 because that's when he like saved the city and stuff. So it's between those ones, but I think episode 3 for me stands out the most.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is another good one. 5 is also really good. I noticed that the fight scene was really cool, like when it was all slow mo.
Yeah,
and stuff. So
yeah, I
that was
forgot.
super
No
cool.
slow-mo. Oh yeah, no, because what happened was because like the guy was like spun his fist and was like, yeah, I'll turn these people into mincemeat. And Vash comes in,
Yeah, and he shot
shoots
And
the
then shoots
shots,
it.
and like redirects the fist that's being
Yeah.
shot. That was so cool.
That was really cool.
And he was like, "You blocked my son's shot with only 6 bullets." And he was like, "No, 5." And he shoots the guy's
Yeah,
bare
that was so
arm.
cool.
That was like, oh my goodness.
That was really cool. So,
Yeah, because like it left an opening in his arm where he fired like the hole, and he just like shot it up right in there. For those who have not watched, that's what happened. I'm just trying to explain it to you.
Yeah, it was really cool. So that in episode 6, I think 6 would probably be my favorite, just because, like I said, I wasn't really convinced of the show like at first, but episode 6 was like when he revealed, yeah, I don't remember anything after my childhood or before that one memory.
I got you kind of hooked.
And yeah, and I was like, okay, now I want to know. Now I want to know what's up with him.
Yeah, I think it makes sense that our favorite episodes would be the episodes we got hooked on. Because for me, episode 3, that was the one that I actually started really getting interested in the show.
What was
Yeah,
that
makes
made
sense.
you get interested again about the 3rd episode?
I just saw, he was just like, he helped this drunk dude out to kind of see light. That was kind of, I mean, I kind of already said that. And then, the bit where they, like the whole town, he got the whole town to go against the dude, and he wasn't even holding a gun.
Love and
Fun.
peace. Love
and
and peace.
peace.
Yeah. I just saw that there's a whole lot of heart and like wholesomeness in the show, and I feel like it really showed up in that episode, and that's what kinda made me like
Yeah,
it.
that's good.
Okay, so shall we wrap it up
anything
then?
else?
Anything else that you want to bring up?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so
I did want to say, although there wasn't much, I liked the music in it a whole lot. Like there were just little bits where it had like
yes, I'll send you guys a link to the
Western
playlist.
kind of stuff too.
I have put that on my playlist so many times because most of the songs, they're almost all electric guitar.
Mm.
Until later on, they introduce another instrument that I won't spoil.
I think in like episode 6 or episode 7, I remember specifically noticing it had a really good bit with the music, but I don't actually remember what it was.
Yeah, it was when he was hugging the girl. It was like that one song that they played in the background until you're just like, oh, that's a cool music. And then it plays at that one moment. You're like, oh, that's some good music. And it just hit you. It hit me at least. I know it didn't hit you, Emily.
But why?
Because you don't cry.
Oh, so yeah, I'm not emotional.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, so I think we're good.
On that note.
Yeah, on that note.
Now that we're done talking about crying as children.
So, real quick, if you want to ask us questions or recommend a series, you can contact us at our Twitter at the Anime Watchlist Pod, or
Twitter.
Yeah, we do have. Yeah, we have a Twitter.
I didn't know that either.
You can email us at
put it in the comments.
Or
Like
at the Anime Watches Podcast at the Anime Watchlist Pod at gmail.com. You can email us questions or recommendations for anime, and we'll try to answer them on the show. So I've been Ian,
Yes, and I've been Emily.
I mean, yeah.
and this
Did
was
it.
the Anime Watchers podcast. Bye.
Bye.
Hello. Editor, hello. Thank you for watching. It's been very cool. I really don't have much to talk about today. I guess next episode will also be Trigun. Yeah, that makes sense. You know, I was thinking about triangles, because, like, triangles, important. And it's like look at your skin. Like, actually look, like, super, very close at it. Like, deep down, And it's like, everything's made out of triangles. And, if you think about it, like, most polygons are, like, the common shapes can be made out of triangles. So, I thought that was interesting, triangles, trigonals. I really have nothing else to say about it. Maybe they're the answer to the universe.